People often say that life is a series of choices. If that is true, then my entire life has been nothing but a string of wrong choices. My first mistake was chasing a scrap of petty power, even though it allowed me to briefly become a top-tier master in the martial world. But the price was my manhood, which is why it is considered a demonic art. My second mistake was not killing this despicable eunuch sooner. That was my second great mistake. After giving his opponent a beating more painful than chili peppers, Ye Ping stood there and asked Lord Zhang, "Why did you choose to start a rebellion like this? Would it not have been better to just fulfill your duties and live out your days in peace?" Lord Zhang, kneeling there covered in blood, snapped back, "To fulfill my duties and live out my days, you say? How dare you even speak of a long and peaceful life?" At that moment, a figure slowly stepped out from behind the soldiers behind Ye Ping. "Very well, Lord Zhang, then answer me this. The northern barbarians have captured the military headquarters in Datong and passed through Yuzhou, and now they are closing in on the capital. So why should I, with 500,000 troops at my command, beg for peace from those savages?" The newcomer was the chief eunuch, Wang Jin. He stared coldly at Lord Zhang and demanded, "Answer me, Lord Zhang." Lord Zhang frowned, thinking to himself, "This bastard Wang Jin is the king of eunuchs." With that in mind, he spoke up. "Lord Eunuch, I beg you in the name of our old bond as fellow students, please withdraw the troops. Those barbarians are not to be trifled with. They may be few, but they are seasoned, well-equipped, and incredibly brutal. And what of the Imperial Army? We have the numbers, but they are just a disorganized mob who have never even held a sword. Half of them would flee in terror the moment they locked eyes with those northern savages." Wang Jin leaned in close and sneered. "Is that your only reason you want to avoid the fight, because you are scared? A fool who starts a war just because he is afraid of losing land. How dare you mock my intentions?" With that, he delivered a sharp kick. "You and I have never shared the same path. Even if we were fellow students, rebellion is a capital crime. You will not be buried with our ancestors. Zhang Zhenming, I will send you on your way then." With that, he kicked him straight into the abyss. Falling through the air, Zhang Zhenming spat out blood and screamed, "You eunuchs will all die and rot before you even reach 60. In the next life, I will castrate every last one of you myself and make you all serve as slaves for 3 lifetimes." The scene shifts. A cracked walnut shell falls through the breeze. Zhang Zhenming lay right under a walnut tree, staring up at the sky in total confusion. Wait a minute. He sat up to check himself. How can this be? I clearly fell off a cliff. Not only am I alive, I do not even feel any pain or see any injuries. The more he thought about it, the more confused he became. To make matters stranger, the ethereal scenery before him was almost impossible to believe. Good heavens, have I died and been brought to some sort of paradise? Peaches growing next to walnuts. I have never seen such a strange orchard in my life. Just then he noticed a woman peeking from behind a tree. He quickly called out to her, "Hey, you there, finally a person. I just want to ask for directions." But as soon as he tried to run toward her, she turned and fled. He hurriedly chased after her, shouting, "Wait, I am not a bad guy. I just want to ask the way." But just as he thought he was about to reach her, she vanished into thin air, like mist in the wind. The situation left him even more baffled. He could not understand what was happening. Just where on earth is this place? He stood there staring at the building in front of him for a while, then decided to go up and knock. "Excuse me, is the owner of this house in?" After waiting with no reply, he opened the door and stepped inside. "Forgive my intrusion." Inside, 2 people were busy writing something. The scrolls they were using were massive, stretching out across the floor. Zhang Zhenming walked up to them and asked, "Greetings, elders. I have lost my way in this strange land and hope you could show me the path back. I only wish to ask for directions and will leave immediately." But all he received was a chilling silence. He watched them for a moment before speaking again. "Could you honored elders tell me the name of this place?" Still, they remained silent. Frustrated, the young man slammed the table and yelled, "Have you all gone senile? Why are you all writing like you are possessed?" But when he picked up the scroll, he was stunned. What was written there was the legendary martial art, the Sunflower Manual. At the same time, a voice whispered in his ear, "For the sake of our only son, we are transcribing the Sunflower Manual." Zhang Zhenming could not believe his ears. What? He stared in shock at the elegant calligraphy on the paper. The Kui Hua Bao Dian is a divine martial art created over 1,000 years ago. This manual contains a complete set of fist techniques, footwork, and lightness skills, along with countless legendary moves. But its most bizarre feature is the 3 peerless methods which can rapidly boost a practitioner's power to match that of a top-tier expert. However, the original manuscript has long been lost, and now only a copy remains within the Yue Shen Jiao. Chen Ming stared at the manual in his hands and thought to himself, "Is this thing in my hand the original? But isn't the inside completely blank?" Just then one of the 2 men stood up and explained, "Of course someone like you can't see it, because you no longer belong to the world of the living." Hearing this, Chen Ming's face went pale, and the manual slipped from his hands, hitting the floor. He fell to his knees in despair. Damn it, dying was tragic enough as it is. Now a legendary book is right in front of me, yet I can't even read a single word. The old man reached down to pick up the manual and asked, "Do you really want to read it that badly? Then I'll give it to you as a gift. You can read it in your next life." He then tucked the manual into the boy's clothes and turned to leave. Chen Ming saw this and shouted desperately, "Wait, please, wait a moment. Could you be—" But before he could finish his sentence, his body completely vanished into thin air. After who knows how long, he slowly regained consciousness. The first thing he saw was an old man staring intently at him. The man sighed and said, "Unbelievable. Look at this kid. He's about to lose his manhood, yet he can still fall asleep. This is truly a first for me." When he finally came to his senses and realized he was tied to a bed, Chen Ming broke into a cold sweat. The scent of blood mixed with the smell of beeswax filled the air. Could this be the place where I was castrated 32 years ago? While he was in a daze, the old man called out, "Hey kid, snap out of it, we're starting now." Seeing the man holding a knife and moving toward him, the young man panicked. "Wait, what's going on? Is it possible? Is my manhood still intact?" Realizing this, he yelled at the top of his lungs, "Wait, I've changed my mind. I don't want the silver anymore, so please just let me go." The old man didn't force him and immediately pulled back. Chen Ming finally breathed a sigh of relief. Thank Buddha, I've really returned back to the moment before I was castrated 32 years ago. Thank heavens I won't let this chance go to waste. As he was celebrating, a voice suddenly rang out, "How can a kid be this cowardly? If I let you go now, you'll probably be back in half an hour asking for a refund." "Don't worry, I'll be gentle. It won't hurt a bit." Seeing the man reach for his pants again to perform the procedure, the young man screamed in terror, "Liar! You're all liars." Just then he suddenly remembered something. Years ago, it was this same man who did it to me, and in the moment he was about to start, I also refused. But he just told me I was being fussy and went ahead with it anyway. He's the castrator Deju. At that moment the scissors were already pressing against him. "Almost done, just sit still." Chen Ming roared in defiance. "No, I just came back. I won't become a eunuch again." Suddenly a burst of blue light erupted from his body. The old man squinted and shielded his eyes in shock. Is that light coming from down there? Chen Ming was enveloped in a blue glow, and his restraints suddenly snapped. As soon as he was free, he threw a punch straight into the old man's face. He was shocked. Though it was a basic move, it was actually one of the opening techniques of the Kui Hua Bao Dian. This body has no martial foundation, so how can I still use it? Could the Kui Hua Bao Dian have been etched into my very soul all this time? The old man clutched his face and snarled, "You crazy brat! You dare punch Duju! Today, I'm taking more than just your family jewels." He swung his fist to retaliate, but before he could land a blow, Chen Ming hit him with a rapid flurry of strikes. Even if I've returned to a body that's worse than third rate, I won't let a village castrator push me around. He stood there looking down at the defeated old man lying on the ground and sighed to himself. I spent my whole life in a withered, ugly body, drowning in regret over the choice I made back then. I begged the heavens for a chance to return to my youth. I don't know how it happened, but this is definitely my second chance. Yiping, Wang Zhen, you two better wash your necks and wait. In this life, I'll personally make sure you lose your manhood, just like I promised. Over 500 years ago, a couple gave birth to a child who possessed both yin and yang characteristics. He was known as an intersex person. Because their child was different, the couple created a supreme martial art dedicated to harmonizing yin and yang. And that was the origin of the Kui Hua Bao Dian that has been passed down to this day. Later, that child mastered the entire technique and became a peerless expert. His body was both male and female, and he wandered the world freely. At the age of 25, the child chose to live as a woman and vanished from the martial world. However, the real problem lies right here. Since my body isn't that of a eunuch, I'm actually a strong man with a six-pack. The greatest advantage of the Kui Hua Bao Dian over other martial arts is the sheer speed of chi accumulation. In just one night, I managed to open my dantian and cleanse my meridians, but that's only a temporary fix. Eventually, the yang energy in my body will overwhelm the yin, breaking the balance and shattering my foundation, causing all my accumulated internal energy to vanish. To an ordinary person, this martial art is useless. However, the Ryu sect couldn't bear to abandon such power, so they chose to sever their roots to absorb yin energy. But that isn't the righteous path. The eunuchs who master the Kui Hua Bao Dian through the Ryu sect's dark methods never live past 60. Now that I possess the complete Kui Hua Bao Dian, I need to find the essence of extreme yin energy to use it correctly. But how can such a world-class treasure be found so easily? Is that really the only way to cultivate the Kui Hua Bao Dian? Thinking about self-castration, he immediately shook his head. No way, I'd rather give up martial arts than do that. Just then, someone pushed the door open. Jen Ming mother just woke up and wants you to come to her room. Oh my, is your body always this muscular? Hearing this, he shouted out in embarrassment. Stop staring and get out, the girl laughed even harder. Jen Ming, why are you talking like such an old man? This place is Yuyu, a house of entertainment where girls sell their songs and arts. It is also the place that took in an orphan like Jen Ming and raised him. As soon as he stepped outside, he curiously touched a porcelain vase. Sister Shanghua, look at this. This porcelain vase is still here at Yuyu. She looked confused. What are you talking about? Isn't it just an old vase? The young man asked back. Don't you remember? When I was little, I was physically weak and grew up surrounded by women. Because of that, the village kids often bullied me. One boy threatened me, go get us a jar of wine and don't you dare spill a single drop, got it? Jen Ming was worried I can't. If the headmistress finds out, she'll scold me terribly. The boy got angry. Oh, so you're scared of her scolding, but not scared of us beating you. Grab him, boys. He then pulled out an earthworm and laughed wickedly. No one defies Zong Tianxiang and gets away with it. The two lackeys held Jen Ming tight while he tried to shove the worm into the boy's mouth. Right at that moment, a loud scream rang out. At the critical moment, Shang Hua appeared behind Zong Tianxiang holding a porcelain vase in her hand. Under the terrified gazes of the other kids, she smashed the vase right over Zong Tianxiang's head. The other two kids rushed to help their leader while shouting at Shang Hua. You crazy girl, have you lost your mind? How dare you hit a relative of the Kang Ning clan with a vase? Shang Hua wasn't scared at all. She pointed at them and snorted. Then go back and tell your precious family that their little prince got beaten up by a girl. Recalling the story, Shang Hua's face turned red as she shouted, Stop it already! She snatched the vase back from Jen Ming. The headmistress left this here to remind me to reflect on my behavior. I remember it clearly, so stop teasing me. Jen Ming thought to himself, Shang Hua is a stubborn sister who always treated me like her own brother. Now she has become the second lady of the Shi San Hua and the pride of Yuyu. The strange thing is, I clearly arrived in Changzi after everything happened, yet Shang Hua doesn't show any signs of having gone through such a tragedy. There's no doubt about it. Heaven has given me a second chance to fix my mistakes. Just then, another woman walked up and hugged his arm. Is our Jen Ming here? You've grown even more handsome, haven't you? The young man's face turned bright red as he turned around. Sister Duhua, you're awake. This was Sister Duhua, the eldest lady of the Shi San Hua. She was a calm and mysterious person. He looked at her and continued, I just stopped by to greet the headmistress, and I'll be leaving soon. Duhua pulled him into a hug and replied, Don't say that. Yuyu is your home too. No one can kick you out of this place, so please just stay here and relax. Jen Ming felt touched, realizing that she had always been the one who truly cared for him. Back when I was a eunuch, the commoners laughed behind my back while the powerful mocked me to my face. In those days, I didn't have a single place where I belonged. Suddenly, his cheeks flushed bright red. Damn it! I'm trying to have a sentimental moment here, so please behave yourself, my fiery 18-year-old body. Shang Hua suddenly ran over and started pulling him away. Sister, what are you doing? This is so embarrassing. Duhua giggled. Are you jealous? Is it because I'm flirting with your future husband? Shang Hua quickly shook her head in denial. It's not like that. The two of them hugged his arms and bickered, leaving the main character in a very awkward position. Being squeezed between two beauties like this was truly overwhelming. At that moment, he felt an icy chill once again. Could this be internal energy? How could a woman who spent her life singing and dancing possess such powerful inner strength? What on earth is going on? A moment later, he reached his foster mother. She sat there and asked, "Has Minger arrived?" Zhang Zhenming replied, "Yes, foster mother. I heard you wanted to see me." She held up a piece of paper and said, "I found an interesting note in your room last night." She then read the contents of the note. "I, Zhang Zhenming, am a useless man who cannot fulfill his duties. Since the imperial court is recruiting eunuchs, I have decided to renounce my manhood and enter the palace. What were you thinking writing this and then leaving?" Zhang Zhenming gasped, thinking to himself, "Oh no, that is the note I wrote while drunk on the day I decided to become a eunuch." She slammed the paper onto the table and shouted, "Fine, then go ahead and cut it off. Then find somewhere with plenty of money to live a comfortable life." The young man immediately bowed his head repeatedly, saying, "Please forgive me, foster mother. I must have been too drunk last night and lost my mind." He thought to himself, despite her harsh scolding on the day I became a eunuch and cut off all contact, she went on a hunger strike because of it. And not long after she left this world. Thinking of this, he said aloud, "I used to think that as long as I had power, the world would respect me. But today, I understand that true respect does not come from strength." She walked up to him, reached out and said, "Lift your head up. Even though I did not give birth to you, you are the child I love with all my heart. Never say such things again." He hugged her and replied, "I understand, foster mother." In his heart, he felt even more regret. Was I really so foolish as to abandon a family like this? In this life, I will definitely protect my family. I will cherish every opportunity heaven has given me. Just then he felt that cold chill again, internal energy again. Although Sister Shang Hua and Sister Yu Hua are both extraordinary foster mothers, internal energy is on a whole different level. Thinking of this, he asked, "Foster mother, could it be that you are?" But before he could finish his sentence, a commotion from outside interrupted him. "Sir, please do not cause trouble here." The man angrily slapped the waiter and shouted, "Get out of my way!" Shang Hua went over to help the waiter, saying with annoyance, "Young hero, what kind of unruly behavior is this?" He laughed with amusement, then reached out and grabbed her hand. "So Shang Hua is here. Manager, I am Zong Tianxiang. I am here to buy a night with Shi Sanhua." Shang Hua glared at him angrily and said, "Young hero, please let go immediately. Duyuelu is not a place for buying and selling women." He showed no fear at all, but instead laughed mockingly. "My apologies, Lady Shang Hua, but it seems my hand is stuck and I cannot let go. Do you want to hit me over the head with a porcelain vase like before? Who knows, maybe that will sober me up. Ask and you shall receive," as a porcelain vase was immediately thrown straight at his face. The young man roared in anger. Who dares to touch the nephew of a rank 3 left vice minister? Zhang Zhenming snorted, "Is there a problem? I only did exactly what you asked for." Zong Tianxiang screamed in rage, "Zhang Zhenming, I thought you ran away in fear after breaking our promise. Who would have thought you were hiding here? Do you think hiding behind a woman's skirt will stop us from touching you? Kill him, boys!" Before he could finish, Zhang Zhenming brushed past him and said, "Let's take this outside." How about the Guanwang Temple to the north? Zong Tianxiang was shocked by his attitude. What is this? Since when did this guy have such guts? Could it be that I have had too much to drink? But he accepted with a smile, showing no fear. "Fine, I will bury you alive there while I am at it." Seeing Zhang Zhenming leave with them, Shang Hua was incredibly worried. He just turned back and smiled to reassure her, saying, "Don't worry." He looked at her and made a silent vow. "I will not betray you like I did in the past, and I will never let you get hurt again. The ones who will be buried beneath the Guanwang Temple tonight are these bastards." He walked through the streets deep in thought. Could it be that because I practiced the Kuihua Baodian and was reborn, I can now feel the energy of anyone who touches me? This guy's internal strength is much stronger than I expected. I thought he was just a lazy, lustful playboy, but I was wrong. Zong Tianxiang, his uncle, is the left vice minister of the Ministry of War, essentially the second most powerful person in court. His father also holds a military position, as expected of a descendant from a line of warriors. It just so happens that the Ryue sect's Kuihua Baodian does not have this move. I can take this chance to test out the new technique I just came up with. As soon as they arrived, Zong Tianxiang turned around with excitement and said, "You are here. Before I bury you alive in this ground, I need to vent all my anger." After saying that, he threw a punch straight into Zhang Zhenming's chest. Seeing Zhang Zhenming collapse to his knees from one punch made him even more thrilled. Do you remember what you promised me when you were pissing your pants in fear before you promised to bring Shanghua to the inn at the crossroads? Yet you dared to run away and then had the nerve to crawl back to do Yue Lu. Do you think I am some kind of joke? Do you have any idea how much tea I drank and how I did not dare to go anywhere that day because of you? What makes you think you can just come back, you filthy vermin? At this point, Zhang Zhenming began his counterattack. He used his hand to block the man's leg. I cannot believe that actually has not happened yet. The Buddha has truly shown me mercy. Facing this situation, Zhong Tianxiang could not hide his terror, his face turning pale. Zhang Zhenming used his strength to hurl him away and shouted, more than 30 years ago, I fled from you all and turned myself into a eunuch. I have never forgotten that, not for a single second. You bastards who dared to touch Sister Shanghua! The sounds of fighting and agonizing screams echoed incessantly after that. The scene shifts back to 30 years ago. After giving Zhen Ming a brutal beating, Tian Xiang asked, Hey there, you half-baked singer. Have you thought about accepting our request yet? It is not that difficult, right? You just need to bring Shanghua to the inn at the crossroads, and that is it. Zhen Ming stammered, but that inn is deserted and rarely visited. It would be very dangerous for a woman to go there alone. Tian Xiang reached out and lifted his chin. Hey, now why are you worrying about things that are none of your business? Do not worry. Your sister will just have a simple cup of tea with me, and then I will personally see her home safely. Zhen Ming remained stubborn. No, I have heard all about what you people do to the women in this area. Tian Xiang was driven mad with rage, the veins bulging on his face. Look at this bastard. He then picked up a pair of scissors. Do you think I am begging you? Who does this singer think he is trying to act tough now? How about I make sure you can never be a man again? Zhen Ming trembled in terror. No, please, I will do it, so please just stop. Hearing that Tian Xiang patted his head with satisfaction, would it not have been better if you had just listened from the start? Why make things so difficult for each other? Do not worry too much after all. She is not even your blood relative. All right, go take care of your business. Immediately after Zhen Ming was thrown outside. That day, I dragged my battered body home from their clutches. My gentle sister asked, Who did this to you? A fool like me revealed the truth, and my sister immediately headed to the inn at the crossroads. 1 or 2 hours later, she finally returned. I came out of my room to check on her. Sister Shanghua, are you all right? Did something happen? I can never forget the look on her face at that moment. Fearing that her exhausted eyes would reflect a look of hatred, I kicked the door open and fled from the house. As soon as I got outside, I stumbled and fell. In the puddle of rainwater that day, the person I saw was the most pathetic soul in the world. And then, as if by fate, an official notice caught my eye. The Imperial Palace was recruiting candidates for the next class of eunuchs. Anyone who could prove themselves regardless of their background could gain power and strength. I had heard rumors about the eunuchs before. To protect the palace, they were taught martial arts that allowed them to progress with incredible speed. At that time, I thought that if I could just become strong, I would never have to fear anyone again. And so I set foot on the path of a eunuch to seize power and strength. Do you know what the first thing I did was? He continued to remember what happened after entering the palace. Chen Bing, a greedy man like you, I stuffed you with food until your stomach burst and you died. Zhao Zhe, the one who was only good at gossiping behind people's backs, I ripped his tongue out. And as for that beast in human skin, Song Tianzi, I personally flayed you alive to make you live in agony, wishing for life but finding only death, and wanting to die but being unable to. After listening to him for a while, Tian Xiang spat through gritted teeth. Listening to you is making my stomach turn with laughter. You really know how to make up a good story before you die. The whole group then charged at Zhen Ming simultaneously. Come on, brothers, let us wake this Zhen Ming guy up from his dream. Zhen Ming was still lost in thought. Things that have not happened yet feel as though they already have. Even if I have not acted yet, people like this will have to be dealt with sooner or later. I have no mercy left in me. Thinking this, he began to circulate his inner energy, letting it spread through every meridian in his body. He guided his internal energy along with the yang qi from his dantian, pushing his physical density to the absolute limit. The opponent's long sword struck, yet he shattered it with a single punch. This left his opponent in utter disbelief. How could this be possible? Not stopping there, Zhen Ming swung another fist, slamming it directly into the man's face. That single punch sent him crashing headfirst into the ground, cracking the earth beneath him. The other two men happened to charge in at that exact moment. Zhen-Ming channeled strength into his feet. In the blink of an eye, he vanished from the spot, causing the attacks of the two men to hit nothing but thin air. While the two were still dazed, he was already hovering above their heads. Before they could even react, he landed forcefully, slamming the fat man's head into the ground. He thought to himself that ever since he allowed yin energy to surround his body, his flexibility and speed had increased to an incredible degree. After dealing with the two lackeys, he looked toward Tianxiang. "Now how do you want me to handle you?" Tianxiang was sweating profusely from the tension, thinking to himself that it was impossible. How could he have become such an unpredictable master in such a short time? However, he did not just stand there and take it. Instead, he took the initiative and swung his fist, hoping to strike first. Zhen-Ming was no pushover either. He immediately crouched down, dropping into a combat-ready stance. This time, he split his internal energy into two halves, balancing yin and yang. He ducked low, narrowly dodging his opponent's strike. Then he lunged forward and slammed a palm strike directly into the man's chest. It ends here. Without missing a beat, he reached out and grabbed the man by the throat. Right then, he activated the Zhao Hua Shi Qi Gong. Tianxiang cried out in sheer terror. What is he? Is he draining my internal energy? Could this be the forbidden demonic technique, the He Xing Da Fei? Zhen-Ming gave a cold laugh. He Xing Da Fa. Don't you dare compare that mediocre wicked art to my cultivation technique. Unlike the He Xing Da Fei, which absorbs every bit of filth and impurity, the Zhao Hua Shi Qi Gong uses the repelling force of yin energy to expel impurities and the pulling force of yang energy to only absorb pure internal force. Oh, that's right. But the pain it causes isn't any less than the He Xing Da Fei. Tianxiang was finally unable to even beg for mercy. Zhen-Ming smiled even more triumphantly. This is far gentler than being skinned alive, wouldn't you say? Oh, don't worry too much. I'll leave some of your relatives alive so someone can look after your grave. As he spoke, he tightened his grip, making it nearly impossible for Tianxiang to breathe as he teetered on the brink of death. Right at that moment, Shang Hua came running over and shouted at him to stop. He paused for a moment and told her to go back. Shang Hua walked over and pleaded with Zhen-Ming, "Listen, whatever you're planning to do, just stop now." Zhen-Ming grit his teeth. "Stop. Do you have any idea how rotten these people are? They rely on their family's power, and they'll only cause more misery in the future." Shang Hua reached out and held his hand firmly. "If you kill them now, you'll be no different from them." "Is that really what you want?" Zhen-Ming hesitated. "But they are clearly. If we let them go, they won't repent. They'll just come back and target you or the Du Yue Lu." Shang Hua replied calmly, "Then let them try and dream their foolish dreams again. The Du Yue Lu and I aren't as easy to push around as we used to be." As she spoke, a terrifying chill erupted from her body, causing ice crystals to form in the air around them. Zhen-Ming was bewildered. What on earth is going on? Shang Hua let go of his hand and said, "It seems the two of us have a lot to catch up on. Let's go. The matriarch is waiting for us." Zhen-Ming stood there dazed, thinking to himself, "Until now, I thought this reincarnation was a blessing from the heavens. But now, I'm starting to feel a whirlwind of unpredictable fate, and it's slowly pulling me into its center." At dawn, the three young men were spared and limped their way back, leaning on each other. "Are you okay, big brother? What do we do now?" Tianxiang spat back. "What else we tell father to deal with that Zhang, Zhen-Ming, and the Du Yue Lu?" Just then they stumbled upon a man and a woman acting intimate on the path ahead. "My lord, I worked so hard to get all the way here, and yet you're only worried about these annoying flies. I'm so hungry I might faint." The man chuckled. "Haha, just bear with it for a bit." Tianxiang, already furious, felt his blood boil even more. "You bastards, get out of my way. Do you have any idea who I am?" Before he could finish his sentence, blood sprayed everywhere. His two subordinates' heads were severed from their necks in an instant. He found himself being held by the throat by the mysterious man. Oh my, what a pathetic, weak little thing. It looks like someone else has already had a taste of this one, given how little yang energy is left. But indeed, there's still a trace of exceptionally pure yang energy lingering here. It's been a long time since we've had a decent feast like this. These two were ranked 7th among the 7 evil assassins, the lust-stained masters Zuogu and Li Xin. The scene shifted back to the Duyuelu, where Zhen Ming and Shang Hua were standing outside a room. Let's go inside. The matriarch and mother are waiting. Zhen Ming noticed the bruises on her hand and thought, where did those bruises come from? Could it be from earlier? Because she had to hide her internal energy. Even those low-level thugs were able to hurt her. Thinking this, he immediately grabbed her hand. She gave him a gentle push back, looking startled. Why are you holding my hand? Zhen Ming gently rubbed her hand. You got these bruises because you were hiding your internal energy, right? Before we see the matriarch, let me treat your injury. Shang Hua waved him off with a smile. It's fine, really. I deal with stuff like this all the time. We shouldn't keep the matriarch waiting. Let's go. But Zhen Ming refused to let go, gripping her hand tightly. No, to me nothing is more important than your safety. So from now on, don't just sit there and let people bully you. Do you understand? Now come with me. At least let me ice your wound first, sister. As he spoke, he firmly pulled her away. Shang Hua watched his back from behind and thought to herself, my Zhen Ming, when did your back become so broad like this? Switching to another scene, an old woman said while smoking, I have heard about what happened. Our Zhen Ming handled those troublemakers very skillfully, did he not? A voice immediately responded in confirmation, that is correct, Great Mother Ling Yan. She continued, very good now. You can finally be called a true man of character. Zhen Ming replied, Great Mother, after what happened this time, I realized something. Are not all of us in the Yuyu practicing martial arts? She smiled and asked martial arts. We are all just women who live off our daily labor. How could we possibly know martial arts? Why do you think we practice martial arts? Tell me what makes you say such a thing. Zhen Ming thought to himself, is Great Mother testing me to see if I am capable of noticing? He then spoke last night from Nanny to Sister Shang Hua, and Sister Yu Hua as well. I felt true chi from all of them. It was not the weak chi of those thugs on the street, but the aura of true masters. Ling Yan let out a surprised sound of interest. Very well, I will give you the answer. The true name of our Yuyu is actually the Shengmu Gong. Zhen Ming was shocked to hear that name, the Shengmu Gong. Alongside the Shaolin Si, which claims to be the origin of all martial arts, the Shengmu Gong possesses a legendary history that is just as grand. It is a sect governed by women. This place is the source of Bing Gong, a type of martial art that specializes in controlling cold energy and ice. However, because it was once attacked by the Shen Jiao, its power has declined. Everyone thought it had vanished from the world, but in reality the lineage of the Shengmu Gong has been passed down right here in this Yuyu. No wonder everyone maintains such an extraordinary presence despite working hard every day. Thinking this, he continued, so the Shengmu Gong is actually... Ling Yan raised her hand to stop him. Wait a moment, I know you have many questions, but you said you felt true chi, and there are only 3 types of martial arts in this world that can sense it. One is the Ban Ruo Daneng Li of the Shaolin, 2 is the Qian Chu Mei Hua of the Shen Jiao. 3 is the Kui Hua Bao Dian of the Dongfang clan. But among those 3 arts, only one still exists today. Does the art you practice belong to one of those 3? Zhen Ming closed his eyes and thought, so Great Mother is worried that I might have learned the martial arts of the Shen Jiao. If it were the old me, I would have told a lie to deceive her. An incomplete man like me used to have such low self-esteem and feared being looked down upon. But things are different now. With that thought, he honestly replied that it was the Kui Hua Bao Dian. His words caused the entire room to fall into silence. Nanny was finally the one who could not help herself and broke the silence. Ming, do you think this is a place for jokes? That technique is only practiced by those eunuchs. Zhen Ming explained, I know this is indeed hard to believe. Nanny, please lend me your hand for a moment. She asked in confusion my hand. The moment their hands touched, he activated his true chi, which startled her. I feel it, the true chi in my dantian is gathering in my palm. Very quickly she was pushed back by the force and fell. Zhen Ming hurried to ask Nanny, are you all right? I intended to be gentle, but I still cannot control my inner power well. Nanny turned her head and said, Great Mother Ming really has true chi. It is definitely the Xiao Hei Shi Qi Gong from the Kui Hua Bao Dian. Great Mother also showed her joy unbelievable. I never thought I would witness the original peak version of the Shi Xing Da Fa with my own eyes. Zhen Ming cupped his hands again. Then I would like to greet you once more, Great Mother. The legitimate successor of the Kui Hua Bao Dian of this era, the son of the Shengmu Gong of Shuishan. My true name is Zhang Jia Zhen Ming. She burst into a happy laugh upon hearing this. I did not expect my Ming would no longer be a little boy, but has become a true man. Then I have nothing left to worry about. Listen closely from this moment on. Our Shengmu Gong will officially re-establish its sect. Nanny asked, doubtfully, re-establish the sect. But did you not plan to train Zhen Ming for another 2 years? Great Mother laughed. Why would someone who has mastered the Kui Hua Bao Dian need to train hard for another 2 years? We have trained disciples for 3 generations, and now that we have someone to take on the role of the Wuxiang, there is no need to wait. Sooner or later, you will become the Wuxiang of the Shengmu Gong. The young man gapes as he thinks to himself, so if I hadn't been so foolish as to castrate myself and become a eunuch back then by now I could have rightfully become the master of this Shengmu Gong. Thinking of this, he is about to speak. If that's the case, then... But just then, a group of people arrives at the door. They shout loudly, "Listen up, is anyone inside? We are from the Jiangning clan, the Zhao Jia Jian Men, and Nan Quan. Today we have come to this Duyue Lu to find the one who murdered our own flesh and blood." The group is then invited inside for tea, being visited by representatives of the 3 great families this early in the morning. This certainly isn't a small matter. May I ask what brings you all here? The man in the center asks sternly. Did our young masters stop by this place last night? The nanny confirms that's right. At around the hour of the rat last night, the 3 young masters did set foot here. Zhen Ming thinks to himself, is it true that they came all this way just because their son suffered a few minor injuries? They've been spoiled like fragile eggs, which is why they turned out so useless. But their next words immediately terrify him. Our young clan leaders found them this morning, but all that was left were their corpses. That's why we are here today to ask what happened at Duyue Lu. Last night, Zhen Ming tries to stay calm. He thinks I almost let my panic show. Luckily, the matriarch signaled me in time, or everything would have been ruined. The matriarch places a hand on his leg to comfort him and says, we truly don't know how to console you regarding that matter. Zhen Ming is still extremely confused. Did Zong Tianxiang and the others really die? I clearly only punished them. But what on earth happened after that? The middle-aged man in green shouts. Around the hour of the boar last night, the young clan leaders were discovered less than half a mile away from Duyue Lu. This means they met their end shortly after leaving Duyue Lu. Even the cause of death wasn't a simple stab wound. But the corpses bore the marks of a forbidden martial art known as Shi Xing Da Fei. This proves that right here in Duyue Lu, a gathering place for the martial world, there is someone who harbors deep resentment toward our families. So tell us the truth, what happened here last night. The matriarch sighs. This is truly an awkward situation. Even though telling you might upset you 3, the situation is urgent, so I must speak. Shang Hua. When she walks over to her side, the woman speaks with annoyance. Our Duyue Lu strictly forbids any indecent requests. However, those 3 young masters were drunk last night and grabbed Shang Hua, pushing and shoving her. They even loudly demanded to buy her innocence. Although Shang Hua politely refused, they wouldn't let her go. They even resorted to violence. Hearing this, the other man coughs in embarrassment. And then what? The matriarch smiles. We threatened to call the authorities, and only then did they agree to leave. He snorts coldly and shouts again. So does Duyue Lu intend to just wash its hands and claim innocence? I don't believe it. I will have my men search this place thoroughly, including the girls and all the guests. Hearing this, the nanny panics. That might cause a major uproar. Just suspecting martial artists could cause blood to flow like a river. Not to mention, the young masters didn't interact with any other guests last night. The opponent slams the table hard. Do you think I'm begging 3 heirs of the 3 great families died right after leaving Duyue Lu? This means you are hiding something, so just cooperate quietly. But before he can finish, he is interrupted. What? We have answered all your questions in good faith. If you want to investigate further, please bring an official order from the An Cha She. He hears this and laughs coldly. Without hesitation, he reaches into his robe and pulls something out. You chose this path yourself. I already anticipated this. Can you see it clearly? This is a document signed by Lord Gao Yusong. The current An Cha Shi has authorized the Jiangning Zong clan to investigate Duyue Lu starting from the hour of the snake tomorrow. Whether you like it or not, I will be bringing troops to inspect this place in a short while. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll take our leave. Prepare yourselves for a stormy morning at Duyue Lu. Once they leave, the nanny asks the matriarch anxiously, what should we do now? They're bringing soldiers tomorrow. Someone must have seen Ming and the three young masters leave Duyu Lu last night. If so, Ming will definitely be framed. Should we send Ming away to take refuge? The matriarch interrupts Xing Hui. It seems our Wuxiang successor already has a plan. As soon as she finished speaking, Zhen Ming chimed in, "Yes, Grand Matriarch. Actually, I've had a bit of a history with this investigating officer for a long time. Please allow me to pay him a visit to clear up this misunderstanding." The scene shifts to another side. A man was sleeping like the dead. Suddenly, a pile of money was thrown in his face, making him jump up and roar, "Who dares disturb this official's sweet dreams?" He quickly realized something was off. "Is this gold and silver jewelry?" Zhen Ming, now in disguise, appeared behind him. "Are you doing well? Lord Gao Yutong, I'd advise you to keep looking straight ahead if you know what's good for you." Seeing the lock in his hand sent a shock through his heart. That was the lock to his safe, something a master craftsman once swore could never be broken. Zhen Ming squeezed his hand, deforming the metal as a threat. "Forget your wealth. At this rate, you'll be lucky to keep your head." Not daring to be reckless, he could only sit there with his back turned and ask, "What do you want?" Zhen Ming pulled out an official document and held it in front of him. "Cancel the warrant to investigate Yuyu Lu." He gasped. "Are you one of Yuyu Lu's people?" Zhen Ming tossed another scroll out. "It seems you still don't understand the situation, do you? Then please have a look at this letter." Upon seeing the letter, he was completely terrified. This is Emperor Yongle, the iron-blooded emperor who conquered the Gobi Desert. During that campaign, he seized countless treasures. Yet Gao Yutong had the nerve to secretly embezzle a portion of that treasure. If this were exposed, 3 generations of his family would surely face execution. Back when I was with Dong Chang, I personally investigated him. Once his crimes were uncovered, it caused quite a stir. Who knew I'd get the chance to use his old secrets today? Thinking this, he walked over and put an arm around his shoulder. "You don't have the right to ask questions, only to answer." "The answer is that I won't allow any investigation into Yuyu Lu," he stammered. "But the 3 great clans are also holding things over my head. Canceling it entirely is impossible, but if I use the excuse of reviewing the situation, I can buy 3 more days. Please have mercy. That's the best I can do." Zhen Ming thought to himself, looking at him, he doesn't seem to be lying. It might be hard to push for more time. Finally, he had to agree. "Fine, then do that. And remember, you'd better hope I don't have to come looking for you again." By the time he turned around, the man had vanished without a trace. A moment later on the street, "Ming, how did it go?" Zhen Ming shook his head. "Not great. I only managed to buy 3 days. During that time, the 3 great clans will surely try everything to investigate us inside and out." Shang Hua was worried. "Then what should we do now?" Zhen Ming replied, "What else can we do? In the time we have left, we have to find the real killer." The two talked as they walked, unaware that the culprit was sitting nearby drinking tea and watching them. What a drag. Last night's meal was terrible. Just as he was about to have a sip of tea, a tasty morsel appeared before his eyes. "Isn't that right?" The woman opposite him added, "Indeed. It looks like Zhen Ming and his companion have fallen right into their sights." A moment later, at Yuyu Lu's training grounds, Zhen Ming was here training like a madman. Every strike against the training dummy in front of him shattered it. After who knows how long, he finally stopped standing there gasping for breath. Just then, someone approached from behind. "Be a little more careful, or the trees in Yuyu Lu might lose all their leaves because of you." Zhen Ming turned around to see a young woman. "Is that you, Siyue? What's going on?" She replied, "I brought you some cold water." "I know it's the Grand Matriarch's order, but staying cooped up all day must be making you restless, right?" After drinking the water, Zhen Ming fell into deep thought. This morning, the 3 great clans showed up at Yuyu Lu just as they threatened. But thanks to Gao Yutong keeping his word, we were able to get a 3-day extension. But the 3 great clans won't just sit idly by and wait. They've had spies planted everywhere for a long time, and they've started monitoring Yuyu Lu very closely. But we at Yuyu Lu aren't just sitting ducks either. The girls are also gathering intel on the mysterious assassin from the passing guests. He remembered the Grand Matriarch's instructions. Since things have come to this, Zhen Ming must absolutely not leave Yuyu Lu until the case is closed to prevent others from finding an excuse to cause trouble. Do you understand? I completely understand her words. But seeing Yuyu Lu in such danger while I'm powerless to do anything, it truly fills me with rage. After a moment, Si Yue left. All right then, I'm heading to the market for a bit. Shang Hua was hiding outside, and as soon as she saw her come out, she whispered, "How is Ming doing?" Si Yue chuckled. "Oh my, if you are that worried, why don't you just go in and ask him yourself, sister?" Shang Hua quickly turned away in embarrassment. No, it is not like that at all. She thought to herself that lately, he had grown so much stronger and more masculine, which made her too shy to even speak to him. Si Yue leaned in closer to her ear and whispered, "We are heading to the market to pick up some things. Anyway, why don't we buy some snacks to cheer Ming up? He would definitely be thrilled, don't you think, sister?" Hearing that, Shang Hua nodded excitedly in agreement. "But do we need someone to help us carry the bags?" The two of them then left the Du Yue Lu together. Not far away, a man and a woman were hiding, watching their every move. "Look over there, my love. That young hero we have been eyeing is just staying cooped up in his room, refusing to show his face. Although they are not quite as good as that young hero, those kids also possess a remarkably pure aura. There is no need to be picky right now. Why don't we use them to temporarily sate our hunger?" The young man tried to advise her, "Calm down. Junior sister, have you forgotten why we had to flee to this remote countryside? That person we took care of the other day turned out to be a disciple of Wu Dang, and those Wu Dang people are still searching for us relentlessly. That is why we cannot cause any more commotion or draw any more attention to ourselves." The woman gritted her teeth. "Even if it is just small fry, it will do to stave off the hunger. For now, my love, I am about to collapse from starvation here." The young man pointed down to reassure her. "Do not worry, junior sister, look closely at that road. Does she not look familiar? That is the girl who was with the young hero we spotted yesterday. Those two seem very close, though. I am not sure if they are lovers or siblings." The woman suddenly realized, "Oh, I see. I understand your deep intentions now, my love." A little later, out on the street, Shang Hua and Si Yue were at a fruit stall. "I will take these 2 bunches of grapes, please." Just then, someone approached and called out to them, "This is my first time in this village. Could you tell me where the nearest stable is?" Shang Hua cheerfully pointed into the distance. "The stable, just head out of the market, turn right, and go straight." The old man asked again, "What was that? I could not hear you." "Speak up a bit, young lady." No matter how loud Shang Hua shouted, he kept pretending he could not hear a word. While they were focused on the old man in front of them, someone else was stealthily approaching from behind. Si Yue sensed something and turned around. The bag of grapes she had just bought immediately fell to the ground. Late afternoon at the Du Yue Lu. Hearing someone call out, Zhen Ming came out of his room. "What is it? Is that you, Si Yue? Why are you suddenly calling me young hero, and what has made you so panicked?" With tears welling up in her eyes, she cried, "Please help. My sister has been kidnapped." Zhen Ming was shocked to hear this. "Your sister? Do you mean Sister Shang Hua?" Si Yue nodded in confirmation. "Yes, we were out buying grapes when someone suddenly rushed up from behind and snatched her away." Zhen Ming hurriedly asked, "Where? Tell me now." Si Yue replied, "At the end of the market, right at the crossroads." Zhen Ming did not hesitate and immediately ran outside. "I will head there first to check the situation. You go back and report this to the matriarch." As he ran, he cursed under his breath. "Damn it. Please let her be safe." At the same time, 2 customers sitting in the shop also stood up. "That kid has made his move. Go report this to the Grand Governor." Zhen Ming ran all the way to the street where Si Yue had told him. "I just kept my head down and ran here, but how am I going to find Sister Shang Hua now?" Just then, he noticed some grapes scattered on the ground. That is it. When they were buying grapes, Sister Shang Hua must have dropped them on purpose to leave a trail. He followed the grapes on the ground and kept running. After a while, he arrived at a certain room and pushed the door open without hesitation. As soon as he entered, he froze, his eyes widening in shock. In front of him was a woman with a hood over her head tied up there. Zhen Ming rushed over. "Sister Shang Hua, is that you?" He reached out, wanting to pull off that hood. His eyes widened in horror once again, because the person there was Si Yue, and she had been brutally beaten. At that moment, the fake Si Yue approached from behind. She is quite a tough and beautiful young lady, is she not? Since that lady refused to reveal your name, we had to put in a little extra effort. But honestly, her screams were quite sweet to hear. Zhen Ming grit his teeth and turned his head back. He stood up and threw a palm strike, shouting, "Who on earth are you people?" The woman didn't back down at all, her eyes glowing red as she countered him. Immediately after, a black snake slithered up Zhen Ming's arm and onto his body. Before he could react, it bit him right on the neck. He quickly realized he had been hit by the opponent's acupoint sealing technique. She gave a cold laugh and asked, "Oh, you want to know who we are?" Chen Ming collapsed to the ground, thinking to himself that things had taken a turn for the worse. This is bad, they are several levels above me. The two of them just stood there chuckling. We are the 7th ranked of the Jie Dao Qi Sha, the Sei Yan Er Shi Zuo Gu, and Li Xin. Now then, let us enjoy this delicious treat. Chen Ming could only lie there motionless, trembling, but unable to move a muscle. The scene shifts back to earlier when the group was talking at the market. I told you to leave the market, then turn right and follow that path. The old man nodded as if he finally understood. Ah, I see. Exit the market and turn right. Is that it? Thank you for the directions, young lady. I'll be on my way then. Shang Hua happily waved goodbye to him. You're welcome, old man. Safe travels. She finally breathed a sigh of relief. Finally done with that. Let's head back see Yue. But see Yue, who had been right beside her, had vanished without a trace. Shang Hua immediately began running around in a panic, searching for her. Where did that girl disappear to? Just then, she spotted someone changing clothes in an alleyway. Is that you, Yu? Are you in there? Why are you in there? The woman turned her head and smiled at her. My, you're late, darling. The old man from before suddenly appeared behind Shang Hua. Forgive me. It seems I've lost my way again. As soon as he spoke, he swung his hand to strike Shang Hua. The scene shifts back to the present as Chen Ming groggily wakes up. The first thing he sees is that terrifying woman. Are you awake yet, little brother? The young man was pinned to the ground by her, his body completely paralyzed. It was then he remembered that his acupoints had been sealed. These two are from the Jie Dao Qi Sha. They are the 7 masters of the wicked path. Every one of them is a top-tier expert in the martial world, each a master of their own craft. Based on their specific specialties, they each carry a unique title. The two who kidnapped me are known as the Sei Yan Er Shi. They are absolute lunatics. A pair of predators who practice a wicked technique called the Shi Xing Da Fei, which is used to drain the vital energy of their prey. They also use a body-shifting technique known as Huan Shi. They kidnap many martial arts experts with deep internal power, forcibly drain their energy, and then murder them. They are a twisted pair of demons. Damn it, out of all the people to run into, it had to be the Sei Yan Er Shi. Even though I've obtained the Kui Hua Bao Dian and been reborn compared to them, I'm still just an ant. Not to mention my acupoints are sealed and my body is tied up. How am I supposed to escape this? Meanwhile, the man had walked over to Shang Hua. He lifted her chin, admiring her. I've drained the energy of countless people in my life, but I've never seen someone so young with such profound internal power. Especially you. This is truly quite a surprise. Your energy is even more pure than those young priests from Wudang Shan. Just what sect do you two come from? Chen Ming cursed the bastards in his head, seeing the way they looked at them, like they had just found a stash of rare spirit herbs. Even if I die today, I'll make sure to bite that filthy hand of yours. But just at that moment, he realized something. This feeling. Could it be? He looked toward Shang Hua and the other person. That's right. If that's the case, then what I need to do now is... With that thought, he spoke up. It is truly an honor for a humble person like me to meet the Sei Yan Er Shi. I have one request. Please spare my life. My elderly and sickly mother is waiting for me back home. I beg you to spare this young one so I can fulfill my filial duties. The man chuckled. About that, I'm afraid it's going to be difficult. Lately, the two of us only managed to drain one useless nobleman, so we are quite hungry right now. The woman slowly began to undress, intending to toy with him. Don't worry, young hero, it won't be painful. In fact, you'll experience the ultimate pleasure. Chen Ming gave a cold smirk. Hungry are you, so the rumors are true that your Shi Xing Da Fei is incomplete, and your Huan Shi is nothing more than a hollow trick. The young man angrily covers his mouth, thinking what an insolent little brat he is. How dare you speak like that? Are you trying to spread lies everywhere? Chen Ming sneers to himself, wondering if their dark secrets have finally been exposed. They might be acting tough now, but they will definitely be caught in the future. They had the misfortune of crossing paths with the future successor of the Wudang sect and were eventually hunted down and brought to justice by Wudang masters. However, when they were finally captured, it turned out they were just two weak and withered old men. Ideally, by using the star-sucking great art and the body transformation art of the Phantom Snake technique, they should have gained eternal life and youth. The problem was that these two had incredibly poor talent. Normally, the stolen internal energy should be stored in the dantian, But Zuo Gu and Li Xin could only retain about 30% of it, causing their murderous intent to leak out constantly. Aside from these two, the rest of the 7 slayers of the evil path were all top-tier masters. There were even rumors that they were only included to make up the numbers. Zuo Gu in particular suffered from an unbelievable level of inferiority. Using this information could be his way out. He speaks up again, saying he also thinks those rumors are complete nonsense. From what he can see, they are in no way inferior to the other members of the 7 Slayers, with 180 years of cultivation who would even dare to compare themselves. With the star-sucking great art, even a cult leader or a righteous alliance leader would be helpless, right? Just one hit, and they would be sent straight to the afterlife. Am I wrong? Hearing this, Zuo Gu beams with pure joy. Exactly, you really know how to talk, kid. How dare they say my phantom snake technique is a fake? Do I look like someone who only assassinates elders? They only talk like that because they have never tasted my power. A single move of my star-sucking great art is enough to shut them up and make them wet themselves. Zhen Ming continues his act. The rumors say you can change your appearance at will whenever you want. To be honest, I find that a bit hard to believe. So great hero, please consider this my final wish before I die. Could you grant me the chance to witness the legendary phantom snake technique with my own eyes? Zuo Gu covers his face and laughs out loud. If I just kill you like this, my reputation in the afterlife might suffer. Fine, I will give you a special performance just this once. The legendary body transformation art begins. Zhen Ming lies there and sighs in relief, knowing the man has completely taken the bait. Now he just needs to deal with that old witch. The woman notices him looking and says that showing off the phantom snake technique like this is quite rare. It seems you have caught our eye, young hero. Transforming takes a bit of time, so let's enjoy ourselves while we wait. My body is already starting to heat up, and I can hardly control myself anymore. As she begins to loosen her clothes, Zhen Ming's cheeks turn red, despite himself. Feeling hot? Don't worry, you will be feeling very cold very soon. As soon as he finishes speaking, Shang Guan launches a surprise attack from behind. The iron flower palm, carrying a powerful icy chill, strikes directly at the woman's back. Taking the full force of the strike, she feels a chill that goes straight to her bones. Is this an ice art? It is impossible. Women who practiced ice arts were supposed to have been wiped out a long time ago. Despite that, she is not easily defeated. She spins around and uses both hands to block the icy energy. The force sends her flying back until she crashes into Zuo Gu. Seeing Zuo Gu seriously injured, she curses under her breath. Could these kids actually know the weakness of the phantom snake technique? During the transformation, the body enters a completely powerless state. Did they pretend to be unconscious just to wait for this moment? Shang Guan takes the opportunity to unseal Zhen Ming's pressure points. Are you all right, Brother Ming? Zhen Ming smiles and thanks his sister. He sighs in relief, realizing he felt it earlier when Zuo Gu touched him. Every time he touched her, he could feel the powerful internal energy of someone practicing ice arts. That strange cold sensation still lingers on his fingertips. She must have been secretly gathering her power the moment she woke up. She has already broken free from her restraints. Now, all I have to do is keep their attention focused on me. He sits up and snorts, saying that lying down all day has made his whole body go numb. He promises to pay back these perverts with interest. The scene shifts elsewhere. Is that true? Yes, sir. Zhang Zhenming left the Yuyu Tower in a great hurry. He entered an abandoned stable outside the city, and our subordinates witnessed it with their own eyes. The man looks up and sighs, thinking they must be plotting something big there. Finally, he can avenge his son. Prepare the horses and troops. We are heading out to capture them immediately. Back at the stable, the tension is still high. The witch screams for her husband to stay back. She says she will buy time and asks him to hurry and break the seal on the forbidden technique. She claims she will handle them alone. Meanwhile, Zhen Ming tells his sister to keep the man's attention on her. He calculates in his head that he will finish this feast with the star-sucking great art. He plans to hit them directly with the harmonious inhalation qi gong. Both sides then rush toward each other at the same time. She skillfully dodges his attacks without backing down, but then her eyes widen in shock as she realizes she has been starving for too long. If this keeps up, her body will suffer serious damage. I need to replenish my inner energy quickly. Seeing her lunging at him, Zhen Ming raises his hand to block her. There is an opening. She is so hungry that her attack is reckless. He does not miss the opportunity, striking her straight in the chest. She takes a devastating hit. This young hero is incredibly fast. In my famished state, I am afraid I will not be able to devour him easily, if that is the case. Thinking this, she immediately shifts her target towards Shanghua. A direct blow to the head sends blood spraying like rain. Zhen Ming panics when he sees Shanghua being restrained by the enemy. "You monster, let my sister go right now." The sorceress laughs. "Oh my, are you pushing me away again? You're so cruel. Let us go back to that passionate moment from before, young hero." With that, she forces an intense, passionate kiss upon him. This is called the Zuixing Huan Young Man. Once you take it, your vitality will surge uncontrollably for 3 days and 3 nights. Too bad all that power is focused entirely on your lower half. Hehe. Now just lie there peacefully while I enjoy this feast. Zhen Ming is shoved to the ground, his heart racing with fear. Damn it, this is a disaster. Because of the drug, my yang energy is surging like a waterfall. To use the Zhu Hei Shi Qi Gong, I need to achieve a perfect balance between yin and yang. In this state, I cannot even move, let alone circulate my energy. Behind them, Shanghua stands up once more. How dare this witch mess with her little brother? The sorceress sneers with contempt as she sees her approaching. "Oh, do not worry, little lady. You and this boy will be together forever inside my stomach." She swings her hand and her inner energy transforms into a roaring black snake. Shanghua is instantly grabbed by the throat. She cannot believe it. How did her arm stretch like that? Did she use a snake illusion to transform her joints? The witch smirks. It does not end here, although absorbing energy this way ruins the flavor a bit. Immediately after she performs the Ji Xing Dai Fei on Shanghua, Zhen Ming lies there, his heart burning with anxiety. No, she will die if this continues. Get up, you useless body. Are you really going to watch her die right in front of you? Just then, he realizes something. I can feel it. That damaged dantian is expanding to pull in the inner energy. Concentrate, Zhen Ming. Direct this burning yang energy straight down into your lower dantian. Sensing something, the sorceress looks at him in shock. Inner energy is gathering in his lower body. What is going on? An incomparably powerful force. She is delighted thinking she has hit the jackpot, but she is wrong. A massive explosion of yang energy from Zhen Ming sends her flying backward. Hit by the shockwave, her eyes glaze over and she collapses unconscious. Zhen Ming sits up and sighs in relief. It worked. I cannot believe I actually did it. He rushes over to check on Shanghua's injuries. Sister, are you all right? Suddenly, he senses a cold aura around Shanghua's neck. At the moment she was caught, she had used ice to protect her throat. Just then, Zuogu approaches. You bastard, not only did you deceive me, but you dared to humiliate her. I will never forgive you. I will crush every bone in your body. Zhen Ming is startled. Is that the Shi Xing Da Fei? Zuogu lunges at him. Die, you scoundrel. Zhen Ming grits his teeth, thinking, even though I poured my yang energy into my dantian, it is still surging like crazy. Yin and yang are not balanced yet, but I have no other choice. He immediately activates the Zhu Hei Shi Qi Gong. Both sides clash palms, meeting head-on. Zhen Ming curses inwardly. Damn it, since I have not reached the perfect state, I am at a disadvantage. My inner energy is being drained. If this keeps up, he will suck me dry. I have to break free. But Zuogu is not about to let him retreat. He grips Zhen Ming's hand tightly. Where do you think you're going? I won't leave a single drop of your energy behind. I must say, your energy is wonderfully pure. My trembling body has stabilized, and my strength is surging like a flood. Now let me finish you. Blood continued to pour from Zhen Ming's mouth as he glared with intense resentment. Is this really the end of my life? Just then, Shanghua stood up and supported him. If we cannot stop them here, the entire Yuyu mansion will be in grave danger. I am not allowed to lose Zhen Ming. Zhen Ming was stunned as she transferred her internal energy to him. This is Shanghua's Zhengqi. I can feel a wave of qigong flooding into my body. Yin and yang have been balanced. He immediately gritted his teeth and circulated his energy once more. The Ming palm then struck the opponent directly. The young man roared in denial. Impossible, how could my Zigu lose to a nameless brat like you? Several explosions immediately erupted across the area. Zhen Ming emerged as the final victor. The words you said earlier, I am returning them right back to you. The Zong family members had arrived outside. Zhang Zhenming. Your secret plotting is clear to me. Come out and surrender. The door slowly opened. Seriously, who dares to interrupt the meal of one of the 7 masters of the evil path? Lord Zigu, do you want to be my next course? He observed the unconscious Shang Hua and Ziyue inside, thinking deeply. They are clearly women from Yuyu mansion. Furthermore, he calls himself Ji Gu. Could it be that this is true? Thinking of this, he hurriedly drew his sword and retreated. All archers prepared to fire. Countless arrows were then released. Ji Gu snorted and easily dodged them. In the blink of an eye, he grabbed the man by the collar. He then dragged him onto the roof without hesitation. Listen closely. I am only here for a light snack, so do not bother me. If you still want to block my way, I will feast on your flesh and blood. Besides that soft boy just now, I am still hungry. The man grew even more terrified upon hearing this. Feasting, he thought to himself, my son's energy was drained by the Zixing Da Fei, and Ji Gu and Li Xin are the practitioners of this evil art. Could he be the one who killed my son? After the threat, the opponent released his grip. He then boldly leaped away. The crowd below immediately grew chaotic. Pursue him. Do not let him escape. While running, Ji Gu was suddenly startled. He landed on a tree and cursed. As expected, just mimicking him has reached its limit. But this was enough to clear Yuyu Mansion of all suspicion. The person disguised as Ji Gu was none other than Chen Ming. Cutting back to half an hour ago, Chen Ming was amazed by his body's state. Is this the legendary Wuqi Chaoyuan? This sign indicates that the Gen Qi in my Dantian has condensed for 60 years, officially entering the Jueding realm. Knowing that the Xian Dual Master's power could tear me apart, I still dared to use Hexi Qigong. Unexpectedly, I survived and even absorbed Li Xin's essence. Thanks to you two, I have reached the Jueding realm before turning 20. In your next life, do not be seduced by evil arts like Zixing Da Fei again. As he was reflecting, Shang Hua and the other girl approached from behind. Chen Ming, hand them over to the Ministry of War, and let's go back. Ziyue's condition is not good at all. Chen Ming thought to himself, even if I hand these two to Zong Jin Shou and explain, will they believe Yuyu Mansion and drop their suspicions? But there is no better way now. First, I need to clean up the scene. He used his Gen Qi to lift the two bodies. Shang Hua watched this in utter disbelief. My God, to use the void telekinesis to lift two adults so easily. With only 60 years of power, even controlling a sword is difficult. Yet he, seeing a book fall from Ji Gu's chest, she was curious. Is this the unique heart manual of the Fan Zhen Ju, the legendary Qihua Baodian? The book fell to the ground. Chen Ming quickly picked it up to take a look. What is this? What was he hiding so deep in his chest? Reading it, he was shocked. Wait, what madman would do this? Is this not the Huan Shu carrying such a world-shaking secret manual? Just then, a voice called for Zhang Chen Ming from outside. I know you are hiding in there plotting against me. Shang Hua immediately recognized the voice. It is the great hero Zong Jin Shu. Great. Let's go out and explain everything, Chen Ming. To her surprise, Chen Ming refused. Please wait a moment, sister. I have a better plan, and you all know how that turned out. Now Chen Ming is at Yuyu Mansion reporting to his great mother. That is how it happened. The Xian Dual Masters and the Zong family, two birds with one stone. I handled it all. Xing Hui rubbed her forehead and sighed. Truly, you have done something remarkable. I cannot help but be impressed. She then pinched his cheek as a lesson. But didn't I tell you to stay put? Why did you run out and do something so dangerous? Chen Ming tried to explain. It was Li Xin's provocation. I had no choice. Great Mother laughed. Chen Ming is right. It ended well, so let it be. To have mastered the Huan Shu and Qihua Baodian at such an age, even reaching the early stage of the Jueding realm, you will soon surpass this old woman. Chen Ming raised his hand to interrupt. Great Mother, regarding that, there is something I need to tell you. The Qihua Baodian is originally a martial art for the gender neutral, but I am a fit man with a six-pack. Before I turn 25, I must achieve yin-yang balance within my body. To suppress this yang energy, you must rely on spiritual medicine or extreme yin essence. Without it, your dantian will surely shatter. All the cultivation you've built up over the years will vanish into thin air. The Great Mother pondered, but those spiritual medicines have been lost since the era of the Holy Mother Palace. His nanny spoke up extreme yin medicine. Only the Imperial Palace would still have something like that. Chen Ming interrupted once more. That is why I have taken the liberty of saying this. I have a plan. I want to enter the palace as a eunuch once again. The two were stunned to hear this. Suddenly, a panic scream echoed through the room. You said, what? Time flew by quickly, and a year had already passed. One fine day at the house of old man Gejan, someone came to report Master Duju, the guest has arrived. Jen Ming quickly walked in and greeted him. It has been a long time, Master Duju. He became agitated the moment he saw him. You're that arrogant brat who hit me and ran off last year. What kind of trick are you here to pull this time? Jen Ming stepped closer, speaking in a friendly and welcoming tone. Please don't misunderstand. Today I am here as an official guest. I'm about to be promoted, but unfortunately lost my precious treasure, so I've come here to buy a new one. The old man took the bag of money, confused. A eunuch. A kid like you, Jen Ming, explained, I've been working elsewhere. Is there a problem? The old man roared, Of course there's a problem. You're the brat who ran away because he was scared of being snipped. Why on earth would you willingly become a eunuch now? This is just ridiculous. You're clearly trying to pose as a eunuch to sneak into the palace, aren't you? If you can't prove you're a eunuch right here, I'll report you to the authorities immediately. Jen Ming smirked and reached into his robe to look for something. Please stay calm, Master Duju. You just need proof, right? Here is my verification. He looked at what was handed over in shock. What is this? Is this for real? Jen Ming affirmed, I'm not foolish enough to lie about something like this. Now that I've proven it, please sell me a treasure. The old man stared at him in disbelief. I can't believe it. He then lunged forward to grab him. Unless I see it with my own eyes, I will never believe it. Ignoring Jen Ming's desperate cries, he determinedly pulled down his pants to check. Shut up. You might fool others, but you can't get anything past me. However, his attitude quickly shifted. It is gone. Completely snipped off. Although Jen Ming was fuming, he forced a smile. Do you believe me now? The old man then got a good beating for his intrusive inspection. A moment later, Jen Ming left carrying a box. It was a bit of a hassle, but at least it is done. Because of that Sei Yan Ershi incident, I missed my chance and had to wait another year. But it gave me time to focus on gathering my power and refining my body. It wasn't in vain. Next year, the Forbidden City will be completed, and the Emperor will move there. The extreme yin medicine will likely be moved too. To get it, I need information. And to get information, I need power. For someone like me, the fastest path to power is to become a eunuch. But this time, I won't be a real eunuch with nothing down there. I will have my manhood fully intact, a peerless eunuch, hehe. Sometime later, at a certain location, listen up all you eunuch candidates. We are starting the physical examinations now, so strip off your clothes. Anyone with hidden illnesses or physical defects will be disqualified immediately. When the inspector approaches, reveal your parts at once. The examining eunuch sighed. Why are all the candidates this time so scrawny, not a single decent one among them? Just then his gaze landed on Jen Ming. This guy looks promising. His aura alone sets him apart from the rest. With such a handsome face, he must have broken many hearts. With a physique this sturdy, it's clear he's undergone rigorous training, and his part is neatly severed. Very good. After observing for a while, he spoke up. Candidate Zhang Jen Ming, you pass. Jen Ming thought to himself that seal marks me as the top priority recruit. The result is only natural. Eunuchs have to handle all sorts of chores, but after being castrated, most become flabby and weak. That's why they look for someone as young and strong as possible. My body has been professionally trained, and I used a special technique to fake my castration. Of course, I would stand out from the rest. It's just that after finally being reborn, I have to be a eunuch again. It's a truly complicated feeling. Wait a second. Before my rebirth, I became a eunuch 1 year prior to this. That means my unlucky former self is now my senior by 1 year. The scene shifts where a young man holds a lady's hand and compliments her. Your hands are a bit cold, my lady. The girl blushed shyly. Is that so? Just then, someone walked over and called out to Wang Gong. The young man panicked and let go. Wang Gong, Tao Gong, what is the rush? Why are you two in such a hurry? The two of them explained that they were currently selecting people for the new Wu Mu Bi group, and there would soon be an exam for those who were literate. Lord Yin had ordered Wang Gong to report immediately. Hearing this, Wang Zhen chuckled with delight. Is that so? The scene shifts to the grand courtyard. I, Yin Feng, sincerely welcome those who have formed a bond with this imperial palace. Now, I will begin the classification. First, those confident in their strength step forward. Those with craft skills step out as well. Wang Zhen stood to the side, watching and cursing inwardly. Look at these fools raising their hands the moment they are called. From now on, you will spend your lives carrying palanquins and holding parasols for the royal family, or at best working as carpenter assistants. And what about those who did not raise their hands? Are you planning to hide? Then you will spend your whole lives guarding the palace gates in the scorching summer heat or the freezing winter cold. You only get one chance to seize power. Below that, Eunuch was still checking the list and calling out, so finally, who among you is literate? Step forward. The standard is high, and there will be a test on the 4th day, so do not lie. Wang Zhen smiled with interest. In the palace, if you want to hold political power, you must first know how to read and write. Recently, we eunuchs even had our own study hall established for our education. But the 4 books are no joke. If we could master them all, why would we ever willingly castrate ourselves to become eunuchs? Who would voluntarily do something that gets their name erased from the family genealogy? I am probably the only one who is literate this year, so I can finally breathe a bit easier. Just then, someone stepped forward from below, catching him completely by surprise. This person was none other than Zhang Zhenming. This humble one is literate. Hearing this, the eunuch let out an interested sound. Oh, really then, Wang Zhen, why don't you test him? This Zhang Zhenming from the Wu Mu Bei group claims to have read the 4 books, so go ahead and examine him. Wang Zhen immediately clasped his hands and bowed to accept the order. He then walked toward Zhenming, thinking to himself as he went. He says he has read the 4 books, huh? Could he have been recommended just like me? This guy has a handsome face and a sturdy build. I do not like the look of him at all. If I leave him be, he will definitely threaten my position later on. Thinking this, he spoke up. You say you have read the 4 books. Not bad. Then let me ask you a question. What are the San Shu? Before Zhenming could answer, the other man turned to the eunuch above and bowed deeply, speaking loudly. This lowly official seeks Lord Yin's opinion. Is my humble question appropriate? The man above nodded in appreciation. That is a sharp question, very good. While the young man thanked him with flattery, he was actually cursing him in his head. You old fool, how is this sharp? This question is not even in the 4 books. Knowledge must be my exclusive talent. Too bad, but your journey ends here. It seems you have already started to realize it, haven't you? But what a shame. The Lord has already praised my question as excellent. If he objects, wouldn't he be insulting his superior? The crowd behind them started whispering. What is going on? Does he really not know the answer? Why act so smart, you idiot? This guy is totally cornered. Wang Zhen grew even more smug. If you cannot answer, you will be disqualified right now for lying. Power is something that cannot be shared, not even with family. Have a nice trip, kid. With that thought, he spoke again. Lord Yin, it seems that last question was too difficult for Zhang of Wu Mu Bai. This humble one would like to offer an easier question. May I ask to give Zhang of Wu Mu Bai one more chance? The Lord smiled with satisfaction. How kind of you. Internally, he marveled at how this guy knew exactly how to torment others to make himself look better. Right at that moment, Zhenming spoke up from below. The San Shou are the 3 principles a monarch must uphold. First, a monarch must not reveal the words of his ministers. Second, a monarch must hold firm the power of reward and punishment, never letting those close to him take control. Third, a monarch must handle state affairs personally. Hearing this answer, Wang Zhen's face immediately twisted. What, this guy is no ordinary person. The eunuch above clapped his hands in delight. Truly excellent. Wang Zhen was still brooding in intense frustration. He is a scholar who entered the palace just like me. The eunuch spoke up again. Zhang of Wu Mu Bei is an outstanding talent. From now on, let him join the Si Li Jian and ensure he is thoroughly trained. Wang Zhen bowed to accept the order. Yes, Lord Yin. He was incredibly shocked. The Si Li Jian, you are putting that brat in the same office as me. Zhenming sighed behind him. However, there was a mistake in that last question. The San Shou are not in the 4 books, but are teachings from Han Fei Zi. Wang Zhen's expression turned even more horrified as he cursed inwardly. This crazy bastard, I thought he would just let it go. How dare he expose his superior in front of everyone? Zhenming ignored him and continued. Now I remember, there is a similar passage in Mencius King Hui of Liang. Perhaps you confused the two, my lord. Wang Zhen cursed even more violently in his mind. This bastard, and here I thought he was just a naive scholar. I never expected him to be the same breed as me, a venomous snake. The eunuch above gave a helpless smile. Ah, that's right, I mistakenly confused it with King Hui of Liang from the Book of Mengzi. And so the selection ends here. As for Wang Tang Shu, come with me for a moment. Wang Zhen followed him, fuming with rage. Damn it, I actually fell into my own trap. Just you wait, you bastard. As soon as they entered the room, he spoke up apologetically. Please forgive me, sir. I simply had a momentary mix-up between the books. Without hesitation, the man slapped him across the face. You utter fool. I only favored you because I thought you were well-read. To think you dare use my name to suppress a mere brat just because you're afraid of him. You haven't been here long, and you're already playing these sly games. Roll up your pants. Seeing the man pull out a rattan whip, Wang Zhen felt even more resentful. That bastard Zhang Zhenming. He's not just strong and clever. He saw right through my scheme and turned it around to corner me. He is definitely no ordinary man. His mind is sharp, and more importantly, he knows exactly how to sway the hearts of those in the palace. If I let this slide, he will surely become a massive threat to me later. Just you wait, Zhang Zhen.